Hello everyone, my name is Lynx and welcome to a new box live react. So the newest mini box, SOLFLARE Lightning, just leaked, and we're gonna do a live react to it. We are accompanied today by YouTube chat, as always, our loyal 3 and 4 viewers, because it's currently 6 in the morning and no one's awake to watch Duel leaks. Anyways, so I haven't read anything about the box, haven't seen any of the cards, but what I do know, we're getting a terraforming bundle. People are really hyping this, but I just don't really see it, right? What makes it such a good card? Like, okay, I know in the TCG it's a really broken card, but here in Duel Links, let's be real. What uses this? What makes good use of this? Only deck that comes to mind is Toons, right? Toons will really appreciate. Basically another copy of Toon Kingdom. And the other deck is kind of like Gravekeepers, but Gravekeepers already have like 9 ways to search Necro Valley. So I'm not really sure if terraforming is really necessary. The other card I know that came into the game is ORCUST Orchestrated Battle. Limited one, that's worrying, right? Because, okay, ORCUST is a really strong deck. If we get the whole combo, like with Crescendo and all of that, then yeah, I can totally see it why this is limit 1. But outside of that, just like why? This completely blocks the Mermaid combo, which is what makes and breaks the deck, in my personal opinion at least. So yeah, we're probably getting some ORCUST cards. Don't know how good they'll be, we'll have to see. Then we'll have event cards. Those were already announced in-game a few days ago. And these two are just awful, right? Because Cauldron of the Old Man and Spell Shattering Arrow. Winter level up rewards, I had a quick look. Super Anti-Kaiju War Machine Mecha Thunder King, it's awful. Vic Viper T301, also awful. Cosmo Dark Destroyer, really good for Cosmos. That's nice. But the fact that this is the only Cosmo in Quintos level up rewards is kind of sad. Well, there's always the rerun. And we already took way too much time. And they haven't even talked about the possibility of crafting, right? But let's leave that for another video. Let's have a look into the cards, starting with the end. I'm totally not copying a Duel Links Best Deck clone way of looking at the new box. Exceed Revenge Shuffle, Bad Trap, Dual King Stampede. All tokens in attack position gain 1000 attack. Also, they can't be destroyed by battle. Busted. Was that Hippo card that Yuya has? I don't know if I have that in the game. White Hole. That's what she said. Anyways, Black Hole support, not very good. The Forceful Checkpoint, this is a 1-for-1, but it's bad because it's basically a battle trap. S-Force Specimen, oh, we're getting S-Forces. Your opponent controls a monster, targeting one of your S-Force monster that is banished or in your graveyard, special summon it to your field. In the same column as an opponent's monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target one S-Force monster you control, move their target to another of your main monsters. Also, you can only use one S-Force Specimen effect per turn and only once per turn. I don't know if that's good. That seems awfully complicated. Orchestrator release. Okay, tribute your machine monsters and target one monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If your opponent controls a link monster, you can target 2 monsters instead. You probably don't play this in ORCUST, like, at all, unless you don't have anything better to search. And you do, because you have Bubble, even though it's limit 1. Narrow Pass, this card can only be activated when the player set 2 monsters on the field. You can only normal summon up to 2 additional monsters. I don't know if you know, Konami, but we barely have 4 zones. With the extra monster zone, Imperial Custom. Face it up, continuous drop cards cannot be destroyed except Imperial Custom. Great way to kill yourself with the very skill for Imperial Order. So Help and Break, that's a Yuma card from Zexo. Target one monster in the field cannot be destroyed by battle, and any battle damage you take is half. But you still take the damage. Giga Chat, Go 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 Guard. You control 2 or more face-up Gaga monsters. This turn, monster you control cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect. I don't think we have any decent Gaga Xyz monsters. Right? Gaga. We have Samurai and Cowboy. Yeah, not exactly what you want to have on the field, if I'm being honest. Discord. Either player can synchro summons and discard to the graveyard during your third end phase after activation. Pretty decent for tournaments, I guess. It's really good for tournaments, actually. I don't know how it fares versus synchro capture, whatever. But yeah, pretty decent. 3 Magistus. This is Magistus cards. The first time each Magistus monster equipped with an equipped card would be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not destroyed. You can only use one of the following effects. Of 3 Magistus per turn and only once per turn during your main phase, you can special summon one level 4 spellcaster from your hand. Magistus doesn't need that. You can send this face-up card to the graveyard, special summon any number of Magistus monsters with different names from your hand. Yeah, no, Magistus can special summon themselves really easily. Especially if we get like the Playing Edition one. Zero. This is a big meme card in TCG for you guys that don't know. Your opponent cannot target a self-attack position monsters with 0 attack for cards. Yeah, this is a big meme in the TCG. It's interesting. Starring Contest. When special summon a monster to the extra monster zone, you can target one monster opponent's main monster zone, move that target through their zone in the same column as that extra monster zone monster. When your opponent special summons a monster to the extra monster zone, if you target one monster in your main monster zone, move the target to yours. Yeah, no, this is like a weird Senate Twitch. Star Changer. Target one face-up monster in the field and activate one of these effects. Increase that target's level by 1, reduce that target's level by 1. Yeah, irrelevant. S-Force Showdown. Activate one of these following effects. Special summon one S-Force monster from your hand in defense position. Target one S-Force monster in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. If you can search this very easily, maybe you play this. I don't have any idea what S-Force monsters do. Right? I know they have some cards with the new TCG Firefighter archetype, Rescue Ace, but Chronomaly Temple, Trilliton, we're getting some Chronomaly support expected. This is Quentin's box after all. Control all monsters or all monsters you control are Chronomaly. You can pay 500 life points immediately after this effect resolves. Normal summon one Chronomaly monster for your hand. If a Chronomaly or number Xyz monster you control would activate an effect by detaching material, give them this to the graveyard instead. You can only use this once per turn. If we get the better Chronomaly support, this won't really be needed. I don't think it's needed, even in the current build, if I'm being honest. Cancel Link. Once per turn, you can target one Link monster on the field, move it to a main monster zone it points to on its controller's field. Once per turn, you can switch the location of 2 Link monsters in your main monster zone or 2 Link monsters in your opponent's main monster zone. Awful, don't play this. A Traffic Control. If your opponent controls 2 or more monsters, they cannot declare an attack useless. Number 33 and number 13. Number 31, sorry, and number 13. Embodiment of Punishment and Crime. I know these two make a duo. I don't remember what they do though. Once per turn during their player's turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card. Change all monsters your opponent controls to face-up attack position. Also, all monsters your opponent controls must attack this card this turn, if able. Play control on number 13. This card gains these effects. This card cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects while it has Xyz material. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from attacks on this card. And I think the effect is the same for number 13, that's right. Except it's with number 31 instead. Interesting, right? Kinda almost on a swordswoman effect. You can like maybe use this with kaijus to make some memes. That'd be interesting. That's worth exploring. Raise the Ice Mystery. This card cannot be destroyed by battle with a level 4 or higher monster. Useless. S-Force Professor Digama. Each of your opponent's monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters cannot change its battle position. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target one face-up monster your opponent control, change its battle position. You can only use this effect of the Gamma once per turn. Doesn't seem really that interesting if I'm being honest. Mind Protector. This card controller must pay 500 life points during each of their standby phases. If they cannot destroy it, monster with 2,000 or less attack cannot declare an attack, except for psychics. Not really useful. S-Force ORCUST. Your opponent cannot target any of their monsters in the same column as... What? Your opponent cannot target any of their monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters with card effects. When a monster your opponent control activates its effect, with effect you can banish one S-Force card from your hand, destroy it. Interesting, that's good. You can only use this effect of ORCUST once per turn. You probably play 3 of these. It's like the same effect as the... What's his name? What's her name? The SOLFLARE monster. It's the same effect as SOLFLARE Kulia, but it doesn't have like an attack restriction to it, it just destroys it. Very good. You probably play 3 of these unless you have like way better cards in the deck. Numeral Hunter. This card is summon, return all number Xyz monsters on the field to the extra deck. Neither play card special summon numbers cannot be destroyed by battle with an Xyz monster. This card is unaffected by the effect of Xyz monsters. Kind of a do-nothing card if I'm being honest. Side that card at most. For normally Colossal Head, you can manage this card from your graveyard and target one level 2 or higher attack position monster of the field, change it to face up or face down defense position. The effect of Normally Colossal Head can only be used once per turn. Kind of a do-nothing card if I'm being honest. Moving on to the rares, and I'm already seeing some much more interesting stuff. S-Force Chase. Target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of S-Force monsters you control with different names. Return them to the hand. Oh my god, this is really good. If an S-Force monster you control would banish a card from your hand to activate its effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. You can only use each effect of S-Force Chase once per turn. Okay, this is really good. This is really good. If they have a way to synergize this trap, this has potential to be meta. Right? Just with these two cards, they are already on the same level as... what's his name? As SOLFLARE. And SOLFLARE did really well the last EC Cup, despite me kinda saying they weren't that good. My mistake there. But with these 2 cards, the deck is already kinda viable. I'm not capping here, I really do believe it. These are 2 really good cards. Utopia Buster. Zexal Box, of course we have Utopia Support. If you control a Utopia monster, destroy the face-up monster your opponent controls that has the lowest attack, your choice type, and if you do inflict damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monsters attacking the field. What is the obsession of Konami in making ace monsters may have the Flame Wingman effect? Awful, don't play this, it isn't even. If this was a quick play, it would be good, it isn't, don't play this. Magistus Vritra. Target 1 level 4 or lower Magistus monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If a Magistus card in your spell and trap zone would be destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can banish this from the graveyard. It's a revival spell for Magistus. Interesting, I guess. If the deck has enough extension, you can probably play 1 of 2 of these. Magistus Invocation. This is the fusion spell. You can summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material, including a spellcaster monster. If summoning a Magistus fusion monster this way, you can also use monsters in your spell and trap zone that are equipped to a Magistus monster. This makes making IWAS, which I'm seeing over here, really easily, right? So we probably play this. That depends on what we're getting, right? I don't know if we're getting the strong Synchro monster. I know we're getting the weak Synchro monster. I've seen him up here, but I don't know how Magistus is going to play. We'll have to see more cards. Magistus Theurgy. Target 1 Magistus monster control, equivalent with 1 Magistus monster, except the level 4 monster, from your extra deck graveyard or face-up field. If you have at least 1 each Magistus Fusion Synchro Xyz and Link monster in your graveyard, you can equip it with 1 non-Magistus Fusion Synchro Xyz Link monster from your extra deck. Never going to happen. You can only activate one Magistus energy per turn. Don't know if you play this. We probably have better ways to equip monsters. Actually, I'm not sure. We probably played this because we don't have a better way to equip monsters. This one's good. Probably Crystal Chrononaut. 2 level 3 monsters generic. Once per turn, while this card is targeted for an attack, you can detach one NC material from this card. This card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving this card. So again, that same Amazon Sportswoman effect, but this card has 2100 attack, so not really that great. A good way to stall, I guess, for a turn. But at the same time, if you're just going to use this effect for a level 3, you could have used the... what's his name? The toy thing. The wind up Zane something. It has the same effect, a way older card. So, but this works cheaper, right? This one is an R, the other I think is SR. Anomaly Guardian Mount. This one is basically a guarantee 3 off in any Anomaly deck. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one Anomaly monster from your hand, and if you do, this card's level becomes the current level of that special summon monster. So, essentially, if you get, if we get the Mama, which I'm not seeing here, you special summon level 5 and make the Mama. ORCUST. This is basically the ORCUST ultimate boss monster, but you don't really play it that much because it takes a lot of resources as well in core. Anyways, 2 plus effect monsters including an ORCUST monster. Lane 4, 3000 attack. This lane card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. You can target 3 of your banished machine monsters, shuffle them into the deck, and if you do, the attack defense of any linked monsters your opponent currently controls becomes 0 and their effects are negated. You can only use the effect of ORCUST once per turn. You probably play one of these in your extra deck just to have it. Ninaruru, the Magistus Glass Goddess. 2 level 4 spellcaster monsters. When this card is an equipped card, the equipped monster can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. You can only use each of the following effects of Ninaruru once per turn. You can detach one material from this card and target get 1 level 4 or higher spellcaster monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can target 1 Magistus card in your spell trap zone, and will spell trap your opponent controls, destroy them. Again, you probably play one of these in the extra deck, maybe. Oh, we're already jumping to the SR, so I have to calm down over here. Endymion, the Magistus of Mastery. You can target 1 Magistus monster you control equivalent with 1 Magistus monster from your extra deck. You can target 1 face-up spell card you control, destroy it, and if you do, draw 1 card. Then place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. You can only use each effect of Endymion, the Magistus of Mastery, once per turn. You play this if we don't have any better Magistus main deck monsters. Otherwise, kind of a mid card. S-Force Edge Razor. Each of your opponent's monsters in the same class as one of your S-Force monsters cannot be used as material for the link summon of a link 3 or higher monster. If this card's normal special summon, you can special summon 1 S-Force monster from your hand in attack position except Razor. You probably play 3 of these. Even if the first effect is kinda bad, the second effect is really good. Crowley, the Magistus of Grimoires. You can summon 1 spellcaster monster from your hand or face up field to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. You can declare 1 attribute, this card becomes that attribute until the end of the turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard and target 1 Magistus monster you control, equip it with 1 Magistus monster from your graveyard, except a level 4 monster. You can only use each effect of Crowley once per turn. I don't think you play this one. Maybe wrong, but this seems kind of bad. Even if you can special summon it kinda easily, like maybe you combo it with Magistus Fritra? Maybe probably discard like another and special summon it and go for your place. Something like that maybe. As for Gravitino, each of your opponent's monster in the same column as one Let's start again. Each of your opponent's monster in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters is banished when it leaves the field. Interesting. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 S-Force card from your deck to your hand except Gravitino. You can only use it once per turn. You probably play maybe 2 of these because it's a level 5, but you can tutor it very easily with Edge Razor, right? So I don't know, maybe play 2 of these. As for the Platina, each of your opponent's monsters in the same column on your S-Force monsters lose 600 attack in the lane. If this card is on a special summon, you can target one of your banished S-Force monsters except Platina, special summon it. You only use this effect of Platina once per turn. This one is bad compared to the other ones. Very underwhelming. ORCUST Nightmare, that's what we were waiting for, that's what we're here for. Cannot be destroyed by battle. With a link monster, you can banish this card for your graveyard, then target one face-up monster on the field. You can have special summon monsters in fact their dark monsters for the rest of this turn. Also send one dark machine monster from your deck to the graveyard, except ORCUST Nightmare, and if you do, the target monster gains attack equals to the level of the monster sent to the graveyard times 100 until the end of this turn. You can only use this effect of ORCUST Nightmare once per turn. So, you play this, but I don't know how many, because you can't use it with Mermaid, right? Because it's competing with Pavel. So summoning this can be quite a chore, if I'm being honest. I don't know how many... The card is great, don't get me wrong, it's a really good card for ORCUST, but I don't know how many play this. The fact you can't bring it out with Mermaid and still play Babel, which you need to play Babel, makes it a very weird inclusion in the deck, right? It makes it really awkward, to be honest. I'm gonna leave to the experts to figure out the optimal ratios. At least one you certainly play, but I don't know how many more. Okay, the last two cards, the last two aura cards. Varon, the Magistus Divinity Dragon. Well, this card is an equipped card. The equipped monster cannot be destroyed by your opponent's spell and trap cards. You can only use each of the following effects of Varon once per turn. If this synchro summon card is destroyed, it can destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls. At the start of the damage step, if the monster discard is equipped to battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy that opponent's monster. Interesting, right? You can make this turn 1, and if the opponent doesn't have Book of Moon, they are on a really awkward position. Actually, I'm not sure, it just says if it's synchro summon can destroy. Right. I don't know, I think even if they Book of Moon, you're in a really awkward position for opponent summons this. Decent card, not bad. I kinda know what this one does. Well, this card is an equipped card. The equipped monster gains 1000 attack defense. Irrelevant during the main phase. Quick effect, you can travel one other face-up monster on the field. Equip this card you control to it. If this card was equipped to an opponent's monster for its effect, take control of it. Also cannot activate the effect. So this is what you're probably trying to go turn 1 in Magistus. You're trying to summon Iwas, because you just can steal an opponent's monster. It's a really good interruption, right? And it also gives an attack boost to that monster, which is nice, right? So yeah, Iwas, unless they get their super broken synchro monster that is basically one-sided skill drain, which is not impossible, right? Mech Knight's got theirs. So unless we get that, this is what you're going for turn 1 with Magistus. Moving on to the SRs. So we're getting a reprint for Security Dragon, that's quite nice. Decent card for Salamangreat, I believe. Rebellion. During either player's battle phase, target one monster your opponent controls. Take control of it until the end of the battle phase. Also, their monster control cannot attack. Oh, this is off. This is a dud. This is what you don't want to get on your SR deals. Awful card. Should be an R. Should be an N, right? Awful stuff. Onomatopoeia. Not Onomatopoeia, don't confuse them both. When this card is activated, you can add one Onomat card from your deck to your hand except Onomatopoeia. You can target one Zubaba, Gaga, Go, or the monster you control. All monsters you currently control becomes that monster's level until the end of this turn. You can only use these effects once per turn. So, this makes a really good combo with Onomatopoeia, right? Where is it? And makes really good combo with Onomatopoeia. Really good. Basically makes the deck hyper consistent, right? If you don't have it, the best target is probably Topic Onomatopoeia. But yeah, you're basically running 6 copies of Onomatopoeia with this. Interesting. Would it have made more sense to bring this card on the box reprint Onomatopoeia, right? But I guess not. I guess Konami wants you to spend your money on various boxes. Which is not strange. I guess it's their usual modus operandi. I don't know what I expected. This is a Galaxy card. Galaxy Trance. Pay 2000 life points. Steam target one photo monster in your graveyard. Special summon both it and one Galaxy monster from your deck with the same level, both in defense position. And if you do, each monster's attack becomes 2000. Also, their effects are negated. You can only activate one Galaxy Trance per turn. Cannot normal or special summon monsters in the turn you activate this card, except Photon and Galaxy. Kinda do nothing card, if we're being honest, right? Because, okay, what is the goal here? How easy you can, okay, you can Foolish Burial with the skill, no, you can't Foolish Burial Photon monster, right? You have to Foolish Burial Galaxy with the skill. Yeah, no, this is kind of like bait. This looks like bait to me. Oh no, maybe I played one of these in Galaxy, but not like Galaxy has any place they can make anyways. Crusadia Power. Target one Crusadia monster you control. That is Crusadia monster is unaffected by card effects this turn, except its own. I don't know if you played this in Crusadia, right? Crusadia just wants to summon kaijus on the opponent's field and OTK them. If you had a good way to search this, maybe you play one copy, but I think since we don't have the Lion, Regulex, I believe it's name, I don't think you play this. Artemis, the Magistus Moon Maiden. If another Magistus monster is normal or special summon while you control this monster, you can target one of those monsters, equip this card you control to it. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can add one Magistus monster from your deck to your hand. Interesting. You only use each effect of Artemis, the Magistus Moon Maiden, once per turn. We can only special summon Artemis once per turn. Interesting, you probably play at least one of these in your extra deck since it can become a search. But so far, I haven't seen really a way to special summon more than one Magistus monster per turn. Because ideally you would special summon something, make the link 1, then normal summon something else to activate her effect. But so far the Magistus monster we have don't really special summon themselves, do they? Security Force Justify, S-Force Justify. 3 effects monsters, including at least an S-Force. You cannot summon set monsters chosen on this card points you, no problem, it has all upzones. You have 5 you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, negating this effect until the end of this turn, then you can move that opponent's monster to their monster zone this card's point to. You can only use this effect to justify once per turn. At the start of the demo stop at this card battles, you can manage one monster to this card's point. This card is amazing. It's a great card. So really good card. Really good. This is what you want to end on first turn with S-Force, right? Definitely what you want to end up first turn with S-Force. So from what I can see, you probably try to use the Edge Razor with Gravitina to search a card, but I don't know what's the third monster there, how you get to the third monster. Let's see, let's move on. Long gears to the ORCUST Orchestrated. You affect monsters, including in ORCUST Monster. This is probably what you end your first turn on with Longirsu with ORCUST. This link card cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can target 2 of your banished machine monsters, shuffle them into the deck, then can send one link monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. You can only use this effect of Longirsu once per turn. With Babel, this is a quick effect, so yeah, this is probably your boss monster, right? Kind of similar to Best Force Justify when you think about it. Boy, yeah. This is what you probably end your board. Now this is a surprising only at SR. What? Number N39 Utopia the Lightning. Basically when this card attack attaches 2 materials and make it 5,000 attack, and you can summon it using an Utopia. This is a dangerous card. I didn't expect to see this at all today. Like, what? Sure. Utopia the Lightning. I guess we can, I don't know, make some weird Utopia OTK decks with this. Anomaly Mana. That's interesting. That is really good. Once per turn, quick effect, you can target one face-up monster on the field, and when it sees monster or anomaly monster in your graveyard, that monster on the field gains half the attack of the monster in the graveyard until the end of this turn. Then attach that monster from the graveyard to this card as material. Once per turn, when your opponent monster activates an effect, quick effect, you can detach 2 materials, negate it. Basically, what you enter one on Chronomaly and any level 5 decks. This is really good for Cyber Dragons, right? You can definitely make this with Cyber Dragons. Outside of that, I can't really think of any level 5 decks that can benefit this. On to the Wars. Of course, best card in the box, compulsory. You definitely want maybe at least 2 copies of these. I'm also seeing something very interesting here. S-Force Bridgehead. When this card activates, you can add 1 S-Force monster from your deck to your hand. When a opponent monster declares an attack on your S-Force monster in its same column, you can activate this effect. That monster you control cannot be destroyed by the battle. You can only use the effect of Bridgehead once per turn. You can only activate once per turn. Basically Rota for the deck. It's a Rota. Kurikara de Vinkrite. This is a hand trap, right? And it's pretty new too. I think people play this on the Kashtira mirror. It cannot be normal summon the set. Must be special summon for your hand by tributing all 3 sub-monsters on the field that activated their effects this turn in your opponent's monster zone. Gains 1,500 attack for each monster tributed to special summon this card. During your end phase, you can target 1 monster opponent control, special summon it to your field. You can only use each effect of Kurikara de Vinkarnit once per turn. This is an interesting hand trap, and it's good for tournaments, it's what I can say. For the ladder play, I'm not sure. Really good for tournaments, doubtful for ladder play. This is the only other Galaxy Eyes in this Galaxy Eyes named box, which it better be good, it better be worth it. It's not even an Xyz, it's not even Photon Lord. So let's see. Kill lane monsters, including a monster with 2000 or more attack. If this card is Link Summon, you can target one Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Okay. During your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can discard 1 Photon card and 1 Galaxy card, or discard 1 Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon, then target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls, destroy it. You can only use this effect of Galaxy-sized SOLFLARE Dragon once per turn. This is a bit of a consolation prize for Galaxy Eyes, for being honest, because this is no Photon Lord, right? Photon Lord would have been much better. It's a turn 1 option, right? You can probably combo this with, what's her name? With the banish spell, Photon Stream, Galaxy Stream or something, and the skill. It makes a better turn 1 board than what Galaxy could do before a Photon Lord, but still worse than Photon Lord, right? I don't think the deck is going to be meta with just this. Here's the Girl of the Hour. Galathea, the ORCUST automatron. Basically, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. You can target one of your banished machine monsters, shuffle it into the deck. Then you can set one ORCUST spell trap directly from your deck. All used as a fact once per turn. You search battle. You always search battle. And maybe you play 2 of these at most. At most 2 of these. We really don't have Crescendo, right? That kinda sucks, man. I was really hoping for Crescendo. I was really hoping to relieve Toss Farm it. That would have been really fun. People may disagree me saying, no, Crescendo broken. But, I don't know. I would have liked to see Crescendo. Anyways, moving on to the next card. S-Force Rapachiomaru. Each of your opponent's monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters can only target that monster for attacks. Quick effect, you can banish one S-Force monster card from your hand, return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one S-Force monster from your deck in defense position, except Rapachiomaru. All used as effect once per turn. So I guess you normal summon this, or no, in a way. How does this work? Cards normal special summon. Okay, yeah, I can see it. You normal summon Razor, special summon Rapachiomaru, banish Rapachiomaru. Actually no, you banish something like Graffitino, special return Rapachiomaru to the hand. Then you special summon Platina and use Platina's effect to special summon Gravitino, search a card, and then you can end on Justify. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Or you could just, normal summon Razor, special summon Autofist, and just set Chase. That's probably just as good of an interruption. I have to think more about this, but BMS first was going to be an expensive deck, right? Like, you'll probably play 3 of these, and you definitely play at least 2 of these, because it's a Rhoda, right? Obviously you play 2 of these. You don't play 3 because it's not, because it is an once per turn. Well, yeah, this is interesting. This makes a really strong deck 4. So the Magistus of Flame. You can target one monster you control. Equip it with one Magistus monster from your extra deck. If this card becomes equipped with one Magistus monster card, you can special summon one level 4 spellcaster monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, except Zoroa. But its effects are negated. You can only use each effect of Zoroa once per turn. This makes making the Synchro Dragon, the Varal, really easily piece of cake, right? So yeah, you probably play 3 of these. Really, one of the Magistus of there. This card's no more special summon. Fucking bikers, man. If this card is normal special summon, you can activate one of these effects. Add one Magistus spell trap card from your deck to your hand. Return one of your banished level 4 or lower spellcaster monsters to your graveyard. You can banish this card from the graveyard, target one Magistus your control, equip it with one Magistus monster from your graveyard except the level 4 monster. I'll use each effect of Liliana once per turn. You also play probably 3 of these to search the Magistus invocation. Gosh, that's an expensive deck. 3 Zoroa, 3 Liliana? Expensive, man. Real expensive. Last but not least, the card that in my opinion should have been the box signature. Dingirsu, the ORCUST of the Evening Star. To level 8 monsters, you can only special summon Dingirsu once per turn. You can actually summon this card using an ORCUST Link monster you control as material. The card you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect. You can detach one material from this card instead. If this card is special summon, you can activate one of these effects. Send one card your opponent controls to the graveyard, attach one of your banished machine monsters to this card as material. So, the main purpose of this card is basically you want to end on Longirsu plus Babel plus Dingirsu, so that if your opponent tries to destroy your your Babel with MST, you can protect it with Dingirsu. You can also make this card turn 2 to just send a card your opponent controls to the graveyard to just completely bypass any destruction protection. And that's it for the box. So, general thoughts, right? Majestas seem interesting, but kinda too expensive for what they do, right? I don't know, I don't think I was past just dying to a single book of game is particularly strong. And to have the best version of the deck, you will need 3 Renoa, or 3 Zoroa, and 3 Brilliana. We didn't get the other 2 Magistas that are really good, the Xyz, the Vera Xyz, and the Zoroa Synchro. We didn't get these. So, I don't know if I was pass or Vuron pass. I don't know if it cuts it. I'm being honest. I think it's too expensive for something that doesn't cut it. Being completely real with you. Galaxies are a bit better than they were after the ballast, after the skill adjustment. But not particularly good either, right? I don't really put much faith into it. Normally's got a really powerful piece of support here in both the Mana and Guardian lots, but Anomalies, I don't expect to do any real impact in the meta, to be honest. S-Force seems really promising. Expensive, but promising. Right? You have various ways to set up interactions. Like, I know I just said that, oh, the Mana Pass or I was Pass is kind of weak because it just dies to Book of Moon. But Justify Pass, or Justify with Chase Pass, it's not really weak, right? Because you can't Book of Moon Justify it because it's a Link monster. So in that sense, it's a lot better than the previous examples. Same, I guess, for a SOLFLARE Dragon, right? You can't Book of Moon it, so you almost always have the special summon destruction. But if I had to say S-Force, which is weird to say in a box of ORCUST and Dingirsu, but I think S-Force is the deck with most potential here. Last but not least, ORCUST. And I know this is going to sound weird, I know it's going to sound a bit insane, but I think ORCUST is sucking ass. It's bad. They gave us a shitty half deck. And, you know, you can curse me, you can call me insane, but in the end, that's the truth. It's the complete truth, right? You can't play Nightmare Mermaid with the deck. You can't play Crescendo, they didn't give us that. Babel is limited 1. If your opponent opens Cosmic Cyclone, your deck just dies, right? Because best possible board. It's a Longirsu with a Dingirsu and a Babel. And it just dies to a single Cosmic Cyclone. Which is a really common staple, right? Like, okay, it doesn't die to MST, to Mystical Space Typhoon, but people will just adapt, right? They just play Cosmic. I don't know. This seems really disappointing. Really, really disappointing. I don't know. I don't know. I really think Crescendo here would have been good. I would rather have gotten Crescendo than Dengirsu. I really would have rather have Crescendo than Dengirsu. People were really hyping this box, right? In the chat and in the comments of the post for ORCUST. ORCUST tier 0. I don't see it. I really don't see it without Mermaid, without Crescendo. The deck dies to a single Cosmic. I think ORCUST won't make an impact. I'm being completely honest here. I think S-Force is going to be more impactful than ORCUST. So, final thoughts, right? This box is definitely worth going into for compulsory, for Utopia the Lightning. And if you want to build any of these decks, if any of these sound fun to you, go ahead. If you have Galaxy Eyes, you probably want at least one copy of SOLFLARE Dragon. I know that I probably am going to make a video on it, right? I have most of the Galaxy package, just adding SOLFLARE Dragon to see how it does. I'm really disappointed in ORCUST, right? I know I already said that a billion times, but I really am. Okay, I guess we don't have anything else to talk about here, right? We already had a look at the level up rewards, the bundle. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you're watching on YouTube, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like, to subscribe, and to leave a comment down below about what you think about this new box, if you think I'm correct about ORCUST and Majestus and stuff, or if you think I'm terribly wrong and ORCUST is going to be the new tier 0 meta threat, which I don't believe, but anyways, if you do, comment down below. I would like to read your opinions. My name's Lynx, and I'm out. Peace.